Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, in this video, we are going to discuss a new chapter, which is on chapter on motivation and performance. And this chapter refers to content 7 in our course information or course outline. And like usual, we will go through all the learning objectives that we are going to cover in this particular chapter. And this chapter is kind of very interesting because when it comes to motivation, it is a chapter that very close to my heart as well uh, because uh, because I like it. Because when we are dealing with people, they are being motivated in different ways, and there are so many theories of motivation and factors that influence a person to be motivated. So anyway, anyhow, we are going to look at what is motivation and why do we need to concern about it. And then we look at the perspective of expectancy theory and equity theory, and then explain how goals and needs motivate people and what kind of goals are especially likely to result in high performance, and identify the motivation lessons and explain why and how managers can use pay as a major motivational tool. And why are we going to discuss many tools, many different approaches to motivation? Because one day when you become a particular manager, you need to understand all of this. Because as a manager, sometimes you cannot motivate all of your employees by using only one motivational approach. Because the contextual is different, the environment is different, the cultural background is different, and then the life stages of each of your employees are also different. So we need to understand in terms of the potential ways and different ways on how we can better motivate our employees. So what is motivation? It is a psychological forces that determine the direction of a person's behavior in an organization, a person's level of effort, and a person's level of persistence. Explains why people behave the way they do in organizations. So sometimes we contribute a lot to the work itself because we like the nature of the job, because we are so in love with the things that we do, and that's motivate us. And for some people, sometimes it's because of the money, and for some people, why they are pursuing uh, an extensive amount of efforts because they want to get the promotion. So different people, they have different motivation, and it is very important for us to know on how to motivate people, because that would direct a person behavior, meaning that that would be a source of factor that would channel a person's behavior towards the direction that you as the manager would like them to be. So the direction is the possible behaviors a person could engage in, and then effort is how hard the people work. We know that sometimes it is low, moderate, and then very high effort. And then persistence refers to whether, when faced with roadblocks and obstacles, people keep trying or give up. So different people also have different level of persistence. We cannot evaluate or measure wide a range, a number of employees that we have, that they are all going to have the same level of persistence. And the nature of motivation, intrinsically motivated behavior, behavior performed for its own sake. Sometimes we are innately being motivated because maybe because we like the nature of the job, because we feel that it is our responsibility, and sometimes we are going to be motivated because of the extrinsic rewards, behavior performed to acquire material or social rewards or to avoid punishment, and that's why we do the things that we do. Why do we have to prepare all of the reports requested by our top manager? Because we do not want to be punished. And then pro-socially motivated behavior, behavior performed to benefits or help others. Sometimes we just do it for the sake of friendship. Sometimes we just do it because we have huge respect for this particular person, and we feel like it is our obligation in order for us to help this person. And then what are the outcomes? Outcomes are anything a person gets from a job or an organization. It could be in the form of pay, job security, benefits, vacation time, and then input, anything a person contributes to his or her job or organization. It could be in the form of time, effort, skills, knowledge, work, behaviors, and many others. So in terms, when we put all of this together, this is the motivation equation. The inputs from the organizational members that could be derived from the time, effort, education, experience, skills, knowledge, and work behaviors are going to produce the performance. This contributes to organizational efficiency, organizational effectiveness, and the attainment of organizational goals. And then the outcome receive, such as pay, job security, benefits, and many others. So sometimes the more that the nature, the general nature of the mind of the employee, they would expect that when we put more time, when we put more effort, when we have a little bit more experience and skills, and we increase the work behaviors towards our job, this would contribute to better performance. And then as a result, of course, we would expect that we are going to be compensated, maybe in the form of more responsibility next year, maybe in the form of better pay, maybe in the form of bonuses, maybe in the form of confirmation or benefits. So that is the basic relationship between the inputs, performance, and the outcomes. And we as the manager, we have to understand that when we ask our employees to do a little bit more, maybe of course they would expect more. If we don't able to compensate them monetarily, and maybe we can acknowledge their efforts through thank you note, or we make an announcement appreciating all of their efforts in order to accomplish the goals of the organization. So let us look at the different theory. Expectancy theory, this is the first theory. All right, let us continue with the first theory, expectancy theory. The theory that motivation will be high when workers believe that their levels of effort lead to high performance, and that high performance leads to the attainment of desired outcomes. This is natural, meaning to say that when we put on a certain level of effort, definitely we would expect that if that efforts lead to high performance, contribute to higher sales for the organizations, of course, in the back of our mind, we would expect that we would have a better outcomes or better compensation given by the organization. And then in this theory, expectancy theory, which is developed by Victor H. Vroom, there are three important elements. Number one, expectancy, a person's perceptions about the extent to which effort and input results in certain level of performance, meaning that we have the expectation, if we put in this effort, this is the level of performance that you are going to get. And then instrumentality, a person's perceptions about the extent to which performance at certain level results in the attainment of outcomes. And then we also have the perception that for this level of performance, this is the level of outcome. So it should come three ways. And the input that we put in, the performance, the level of performance that is going to be achieved by the organization, and also the outcomes that we might get from this performance that we have produced. And then valence is how desirable each of the variable outcomes from the job is to a person. So valence depends on how do we see the value of the outcomes being compensated to us based on the produced performance that we have delivered to the organization. So if we have the effort here, this is the important input, like the time, money, and skills. We work extra hours, we work over the weekend, and of course we have the expectancy. When we do this extra, we have the expectancy that it would result in better performance. And then based from this better performance, we have also another expectation that that level of performance would result in the attainment of the outcomes, achieve KPI for the organization. And at the end, we would value the outcomes, how desirable each of the outcomes available from a job of organization is to a person. Sometimes the outcomes can be very valuable and desirable in terms of maybe we expect to get, if we are being granted with the bonuses, maybe we value that as very, very high. Sometimes it's just mere a pat at the back, thank you. Maybe it is not that desirable to us. So that is what the expectancy theory tell us on the theory of motivation. Expectancy is high. People perceive that if they try hard, they can perform at a high level. And then people perceive that high performance lead to the receipt of certain outcomes. And then people desire that the outcomes that result from high performance, that is when the valence is high, and all of this would contribute to high motivation. How does this theory would affect towards low level of motivation? When people perceive that when this is high and this is also high, but the outcome is nothing. So when there is no outcomes that is being tied up dengan kita punya our level of performance, and also the outcomes, high outcomes, performance obtained by the organization, and there is no desirable outcomes or rewards being granted, so this would affect the motivation. So this one, we as a manager, we need to understand that. All right. So we go to the next theory, needs theory. Needs theory of motivation focus on what needs people are trying to satisfy at work and what outcomes will satisfy those needs. Need is a requirement or necessity for survival and well-being. We have, all of us have different level of needs, and one of the theory under that highly regarded or famous under the needs motivation of theory is Maslow hierarchy. Maslow hierarchy tells us that there are 5 basic level of needs that would motivate a person's behavior. Maslow proposed that the lowest level of unmet needs is the prime motivator, and that only one level of needs is motivational at a time. So meaning to say that as human being, we will try to fulfill our lower level needs first, our physiological needs like basic food, water, shelter. That is the most important thing. And then the next one, after this is fulfilled, we will go for the safety needs. And then after this is fulfilled, for example, like the job security, and then insurance, and then working condition, healthcare benefits, and then after we can fulfill this, and then we tend to focus on belongingness need, and we want to have a better interpersonal relationships, and we are thinking about getting married, we are thinking about affection, about friendship, about love. And then on top of that, we have one of the highest level needs, which is self-esteem. The needs to feel good about oneself and one's capability to be respected by others and to receive recognition and appreciation. For example, granting promotions, recognizing accomplishment, and then self-actualization needs, giving people the opportunity to use their skills and abilities to their fullest extent possible. What they are trying to say under Maslow hierarchy of needs is that if we don't fulfill our lower level needs, for example, these 2 needs, we don't care much about the belongingness need and then about the self-esteem needs. For example, if you are getting married, if you are planning to get married, of course, we need to make sure that these lower level needs are satisfied. We have our job security, we have a secure income, and then we have enough food, shelter, and water for us to continue to survive. And then only we will start to focus on belongingness needs, for example. So that's what a Maslow hierarchy is telling us. It is important for us to fulfill the lower level needs first before we pursue the higher level needs. If you are having this in class, it will be much more interesting, trust me. But anyway, anyhow, we'll try to do our best. So I'll see you guys in the next video.